Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network from Valley High School in Gilcrest under a windstorm with winds at about 30 miles an hour. The Brush Bee Diggers go for the season sweep of the Valley Vikings. I'm John Beltran. It is 58 degrees at first pitch as the Bee Digger lineup brought to you by Buildings by Design. Quality, commitment, and experience makes Buildings by Design the only choice when it comes to your next project, as the Bee Diggers have won 3 consecutive games, including that victory over Valley on Thursday, 10-0. Batting first is the catcher Ty Griffith. Kyle Wellen, the first baseman, at second. The shortstop Braxton Shelton bats third. The cleanup hitter Cesar Hinojos batting fifth is Caden Moriarty. The DH Alejandro Matos Garcia at sixth. Sam Metlin at third. At seventh, Ivan Cardenas hits eighth. Jace Krieger ninth. And the pitch is a strike from Caleb Kachari. Opening pitch brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. Mobile banking on the go makes banking easier for you when you're on the go. That is, check them out today. And the pitch. And the breaking ball's a strike on the outside corner at the knees. The Bee Diggers in their gold uniforms and the gray pants, and Valley's in all white with the shirtless sleeves and the black underneath. Swung on and popped up on the right side. That's going to be trouble in the shallow right field. And that ball is going to be off the glove of the right fielder, Foster. Well, that'll be scored an error to begin the game. The wind is going to play tricks with that, but he was there. Oh, I guess they'll score the double. Well, we'll give them the double then. We will give them the double, even though that seemed it was playable out in right, even though the wind was playing tricks with the baseball. Here is Kyle Wellen. A lot of Valley errors on Thursday contributed to Brush's 10-0 victory. A no-hitter by Hondo with 13 strikeouts. Sessut pitches today, and the breaking ball's a strike on the outside corner, belt high. No balls and 1 strike to Wellen. We'll get you up to date on the numbers here coming up momentarily. Just settling inside the weather pod, trying to stave off this nasty wind. And the pitch is up and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Kyle Wellen. Just underway, a pop fly double by Griffith. And the pitch. Curveball is popped up and out of play. Count is now sitting at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kyle Wellen. Wow, I mean, this wind was pretty rough yesterday in Loveland when I did Fort Morgan baseball. It's worse today. The pitch way outside off the glove of the catcher to the screen. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the third is Ty Griffith. Well, or that must be a courtesy runner. We'll see. Yep. We got a man at third. And the pitch coming up here momentarily. The stretch from Kachari, and the offering. Swung on that is popped down the right side, and the ball is twisting out of play. And now the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Wellen. And the pitch. And that one is up and in, but it ricochets right back. Now that's Tanner Ludgate running at third. So it's 3-2 to Wellen. Once again, Ludgate, the courtesy runner, over at third base. The stretch and the offering. Swung on and fisted foul on the ground up the right side. See if we can pull up some numbers here on these teams. Yeah, the challenge is always just getting through the broadcast here unscathed with our signal and everything else with a massive amount of wind. But that's nothing new in April, and it's the final day. Swing and a miss. Oh, boy, up and in, and Kyle Wellen strikes out.
Swinging for the first out of the inning.
Boy, that one caught me by surprise. Here's Braxton Shelton. 7 homers on the season for Shelton, and the wind seems to be blowing in. That's the other thing. With the wind blowing in, you're not going to park it out here. 375 straight away and 365 in the alleys. And the pitch. That's a strike with a changeup, belt high. No balls and one strike. Here to Braxton Shelton. And the pitch. That's on the outside corner at the knees. Nice breaking ball thrown by Cacciari. It's 0-2. Shelton hitting .440. And he's driven in 20. The offering down and away with a changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A double by Griffith. Ludgate to third, the courtesy runner on the wild pitch, and then Wellen struck out. The pitch swung on and lifted foul. Now to play off to the right. Again, a lot of off speed there. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch outside with a fastball. Count levels at 2-2 with 1 out in the top of the first inning. Off of third is Ludgate. The stretch by Cacciari. And the pitch. And the breaking ball bounces in. Let's set up Valley defensively. Carson Adolph is the catcher. Max Doolittle at first. Cameron Dudley at the second baseman. Julian Lechuga is over at third. The shortstop is Eric Nevades. Raiden Pelletier in left. Jackson Dudley in center. Cooper Foster in right. The pitch. Down and away. It's a walk. On that 3-2 to Shelton. And that'll bring up Hinojos, who's today's starting pitcher.
22, Cesar Hinojos.
You might not hear much wind through the microphone. That's because we're in this weather pod. But I'm telling you, this thing is blowing big time. I've got to really press my feet down with the additional weight inside the weather pod just so I don't get blown away. First and third with 1 out, top of the first inning. We'll have the rest of the games for the regular season with the exception of next Saturday at Pueblo South. That was an added game, and the throwback to first back in diving is Shelton, and we already have a scheduled game we're doing with the Fort Morgan Mustangs on our sister station. But the other games we will have throughout the course of the regular season and postseason. The breaking ball is a strike on the inner half thigh high, and it is 0-1 to Cesar. Adolph lays down the sign. First and third, throw back to first, and Shelton back in diving. Hinojos has had a huge season. He's got 5 home runs, including 1 in the last game, hitting .386. And the pitch, and that goes right through the catcher. Here comes Ludgate to the plate. Shelton to second. It's 1-0 Beat Diggers.
A run will come in and score on the wild pitch.
On the wild pitch. So Brush off to a good start on the road. And Hinojos has a count of a ball and a strike. Looking to drive it a run. Another run here for Brush. Yeah, the Beat Diggers, if they just play their game, they should be able to run the table for the rest of the regular season. And the offering. Breaking ball is in the dirt, scooped up by Adolph. 2 balls and 1 strike. Shelton at second. We've had a double, a strikeout, a walk, and now Hinojos up there. The wild pitch scored a run. And the 2-1 pitch. That is in the dirt again with a breaking ball from Cacciari. 3 balls and 1 strike. And Valley, when they get to the plate, will be looking for their first hit against Brush pitching after Hondo had the no-hitter with 13 strikeouts on Thursday. The offering. Swung on and fisted on the ground to the right side. Should be a routine play, and the throw to first is in time. Hinojos retired by Cameron Dudley. Shelton to third. 2 down.
Throw the runner out at first for the second.
2 down for K-Dog.
That'll bring up number 20.
Caden Moriarty hitting .356. He's driven in 15 on the season. Now batting for the Beat Diggers. Wind has died down a little bit, but that's going to be temporary. Righty against lefty. And the pitch. Swung on and popped foul along the third base side and out of play. As giving chase over there was Lechuga. No balls and one strike. Shelton at third. 1-0 Brush with 2 down in the top of the first inning. The pitch. Breaking ball is a little bit high. The count levels at 1-1. To Caden Moriarty. The pitch, and that tails away. Ball 2, strike 1. Yeah, if you hit one out today, you got to be Superman. I mean, that wind is blowing right at us, right up against the hitter. The pitch. Swung on and lined into the left center field gap. Nobody will get to that baseball. It's a base hit. Scoring is Shelton. K-Dog with the RBI single. And the Beat Diggers leading Gilchrist in the first inning 2-0. And he just guided that baseball into left center field.
Number 12, Alejandro Maltos Garcia.
That'll bring up Hondo. Hitting .304 with 16 RBIs. Does have a 2-homer game this season against Resurrection Christian. The pitch and the breaking ball is below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes to Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Stretch by Kachari. Throw back to first, and back in diving is K-Dog. Well, this is what we expected on the road. The Beat Diggers to get off to a good start. That first run brought to you by Western Engineering Consultants. Get your project started the right way with Western Engineering Consultants. That pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The pitch count is already building in the first inning. Approaching 30 pitches here. Just under 30 for Kachari. And 2-0 to Hondo. The stretch and the offering. That's upstairs. Throw back to first. Back in standing is Moriarty. The Beat Diggers won that game on Thursday in just 5 innings. This field, by the way, is only, I don't know how many years old, but it's a young field, and it looks fantastic. 3-0 pitch, and that is a strike. Throw to second, runner going, and it's a sliding steal for Caden Moriarty. Tag was applied but late.
Runner steals second.
Three balls and one strike. And a throw back to second. Moriarty was leaning as the ball skipped away. Yeah, got to watch out there. You don't want to get overly aggressive. The Beat Diggers have had issues at times this year getting too aggressive. You got a strong hitter up there looking for another RBI this season. And the 3-1. That's a strike on the outside corner. Thigh high, and it's 3-2 to Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Moriarty with a 4-step lead at second. The offering swung on and popped foul and out of play behind the press box here. Count remains at 3-2 to Hondo. Again, Moriarty now with a more conservative lead. The pitch, runner going, swung on and lifted into foul territory behind the plate. Adolph going over towards the screen, and it's into the bleachers, as you can hear right there. Stays at 3-2 to Alejandro Maltos Garcia. Top of the first inning. Hopefully the game moves a little bit quicker than this top of the first. If not, we'll be here for a while. An hour and 10 minutes is all it took on Thursday. The stretch and the pitch and the breaking ball bounces in. Moriarty to third. He was taking off immediately. We'll give him a stolen base.
Draws the walk. That'll bring up number 9, Sam Metlin.
Sam Metlin now the hitter for the Beat Diggers. Metlin batting .306. And an RBI opportunity for today's third baseman. And this is one of the things for Valley they're trying to solve with only 3 wins on the season. Shore up that pitching and defense. Valley won a state title just 5 years ago. The stretch. Throw back to first, and back in diving is Hondo. Well, you know the Beet Diggers more than likely would take off. They've stolen 3 bases in the inning. Caleb Kachari. The stretch and the offering. Swung on that is popped up on the right side into shallow right field. A long run. That ball is going to be caught out there. A diving catch by Foster in right field. A tremendous play. Robbing Metland of a base hit on the dive in shallow right field. And that does it for the Beet Diggers in the first inning. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors and 2 left to the bottom of the first we go. Brush 2, and Valley is coming to bat on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Beet Diggers scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning. I'm John Beltran. Let's head to the bottom of the first. Starting lineup here for Valley. Batting first is the DH Andrew Rankin. Carson Adolph, the catcher, at second. Caleb Kachari, the pitcher, at third. The cleanup hitters is second baseman Cameron Dudley. First baseman Max Doolittle hits 5th. The left fielder Raiden Pelletier hits 6th. Right fielder Cooper Foster bats 7th. Batting 8th, the center fielder Jackson Dudley and Julian Lechuga. The third baseman bats 9th.
Number 8,
Andrew Rankin will lead off here against Cesar Hinojos. Will set the defense for Brush the pitch. And that's a strike. Hinojos throws a lot of strikes. At first is Kyle Wellen, Caden Moriarty at second. Sam Metland is the third baseman. In between him at short is Braxton Shelton, the pitch. That bounces in. Caden Schwint is in left field. Center fielder. Whoops, let's see what we had there. And the offering. And that goes through him. Not sure what just happened with our lineup here with Rankin. There we go. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jace Krieger in center. Ivan Cardenas in right. All right, so that gets us up to date. That pitch is a strike. And the count is sitting now at 2-2. And the pitch, swing and a miss and a strike out of Andrew Rankin, the freshman, who got 1 at bat and reached on an error on Thursday.
Carson Adolph.
That'll bring up Carson Adolph. Adolph hitting .219. He swings and grounds it to third on a 1-hopper. Throw to first by Metland is perfect, and there's 2 down.
Carson will hit a hard chopper at third baseman, and he'll be thrown out at first.
2 down very quickly.
Out of the inning. That'll bring up number 2, Caleb Kachari.
Here's Caleb Kachari, the number 3 hitter here in this lineup. Hinojos trying to make quick work here in the first inning. The pitch, fastball is away. Kachari batting .500. He's torn it up for Valley this season from the left side. And he was held hitless, as was everybody else. On Thursday, the pitch is away. Kachari was 0 for 2. Wind and pitch, and that is upstairs, 3-0. Yeah, you don't see too many walks from Cesar Hinojos. 3-0 pitch. That is a little bit low. Well, that strike zone got minimized quite a bit.
That'll bring up number 6, Cameron Dudley.
Well, there's the base runner there for Valley with 2 down and a 2-0 Brush lead in the bottom of the first inning. Cameron Dudley will now hit. Dudley was 0 for 2. Again, Hondo had 13 strikeouts, and that pitch is outside. 5 consecutive outside the zone for Hinojos. Cameron Dudley hitting .250. It's a big lead over there for Kachari. The pitch, and that ball nearly clipped him. All of a sudden, Cesar has lost the strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes. I don't think it's the wind. We'll see. I think the wind will affect hitters more than the pitchers. And the offering swung on and popped up on the right side. Welland, the first baseman, along the line, backs up in foul territory, and he drops the ball. That'll be an error on Welland as the at-bat remains alive. And in these conditions, I think you've got to squeeze it with 2 hands. So the Bee Diggers commit their first error on the drop fly ball in foul territory. 2 balls and 1 strike. The pitch, and that is aimed over there, skips away, and to second is Kachari.
Caleb will move up
on the wild pitch.
Fastball.
So the wild pitch sends Kachari to second, 3 balls and 1 strike. Stretch by Hinojos. Pitch to Dudley, swing and a miss. Over the heart of the plate is 3-2. I mean, you could see errors committed on balls hit in the other pitch. And that is a called strike 3 with a fastball in the outer half at the knees. And an excellent pitch thrown by Cesar Hinojos. And the bottom of the first inning. The entire first inning is complete for Valley. No runs on no hits. There was a Beat Digger error and a man left. Let's head to the second inning in Gilchrist. The Beat Diggers are looking for their 4th consecutive victory. And they've got the lead after 1. Brush 2. Valley nothing. On 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
6, Ivan Cardenas.
Ivan Cardenas begins the top half of inning number 2. And the pitch is away. 1 ball and no strikes. The Beat Diggers with a 2-0 lead in Gilchrist. And the pitch is outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Ivan. Kachari, the right-hander, looks in for the sign. And the offering. Swing and a miss on a bender there. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ivan awaits, swung on and grounded up the middle, and a dive by the shortstop and off the glove of Nevadas into center field for a base hit. A base hit on a 2-1 pitch for Ivan.
Hart makes a diving attempt. The ball will pop off his glove, and Cardenas will be safe at first. Now up, number 32, Jace Krieger.
So Ivan increases his average with a base hit to begin the second. And Jace Krieger will step in. The offering, squaring to bunt and lays it down up the first base side. And it's bobbled by the pitcher, picked up, throw to first in time. That'll be a sacrifice.
Able to regain control and throw the runner out at first.
The sacrifice goes 1-3. Well, that's nice to see the Bee Diggers play some small ball.
Bee Diggers back to the top of the lineup with number 10, Ty Griffith.
Ty Griffith had a double his first time up. And the courtesy runner, Tanner Ludgate, would score later on. That's a good sign for Brush. Got to play some small ball here moving forward, especially once we approach the playoffs. And the pitch swung on and grounded into left field for a base hit. But holding up there and advancing only to third was Ivan. Now the throw goes all the way home. Now the ball skips away up the first base side. But no advance there by Ivan at third. And we have second and third. Are they going to send it back to first? Nope, it's just a courtesy runner. Okay, Ludgate will run at second.
Courtesy runner for the catcher, number 24.
So it's a base hit.
Ludgate. Now up to bat,
and on the throw
13,
home,
Kyle Welland.
Griffith went to second. Ludgate's already scored in this game. Here's Kyle Welland, who struck out his first time. Brush with a 2-0 lead, threatening for more. And the pitch. That's down and away with a breaking ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Welland came into this game batting .346. The pitch. Swung on line. Base hit into left center field. That's going to score 1. No more than that. Ludgate's got to hold up at third. It was hit so hard. And the Beat Diggers lead 3-0 in the top of the second inning. As Kyle Welland delivers.
Now Now up, number 18, Braxton Shelton.
And the Beet Diggers now have 5 hits in the game. And here is Braxton Shelton. Let's see, trying to get an RBI total here on Welland this season. And for him, that can't be only his 4th, can it? No. And the pitch, a strike, runner going to second, and in there standing is Welland as the throw is cut off. No balls and 1 strike. Beet Diggers already have 4 stolen bases in this game. Runners at second and third, 1 out, 3-0 Brush, and the pitch, and that is up and in. A ball and a strike to Braxton Shelton. Shelton walked in his first plate appearance. And Kachari to the plate, up and in. Oh, that ball hit him. Yeah, the ball hit him on the breaking ball, so he's on base twice there.
Bases loaded for number 22.
And here is Hinojos, who has 5 home runs in the season, but today you want to hit line drives. You don't want to hit the ball in the air because it's not going to carry. It will not carry today. Ludgate at third, Welland at second, Shelton at first. The offering swung on line, foul off to the right. No balls and 1 strike here to Cesar Hinojos. The Beet Diggers scored 2 in the first. They've got 1 here so far in the second. Out of the windup with 1 out. The pitch, and that bounces in and bounces away. And here comes Ludgate to the plate, and he slides in safely on the wild pitch, and the Beet Diggers lead 4-0. The other runners advance.
On the pass ball, bring in another run for the Beet Diggers.
Hinojos up there with a 1-ball, 1-strike count. On deck is K-Dog, who had an RBI single in the first inning. Again, Adolph lays down the sign. Kachari to the plate, and the breaking ball is taken in the dirt. He's got a good bender. Beet Diggers have to be disciplined up there with that curveball. 2 balls and 1 strike. To Hinojos. Both Shelton and Hinojos homered on Thursday in the 10-0 win. The offering swung on. That ball is lifted down the right field line into foul territory and out of play. Count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. From refrigerators to vacuums and everything in between, they have exactly what you need and service it too. That is B&B Appliance and Repair. I got to take care of my candy stuff. It's going to melt here. Thanks to Brenda Shelton, who's always taking care of me. Swing and a miss on a fastball away, and Hinojos strikes out on that 2-2.
That'll bring up number 20, Kevin Moriarty.
2 down, here's Moriarty. With Welland remaining at third and Shelton at second. Well, if K-Dog can go the other way again, that could drive in 2. The pitch, and that bounces up the first base side, but only a few feet. No advance by Welland. 1 ball and no strikes. 2 runs in the first inning, 2 in the second for Brush. 4-0. Looking for the season sweep of the Valley Vikings. Kick in the pitch. Swung on. That ball is grounded into left, off the shortstop, and all hands are safe. I was blocked off by the play.
Moriarty will be safe at first on the error.
That's an error on Nevada's, and the Beet Diggers lead 5-0. I was totally blocked off. But scoring as well, and the Beet Diggers now lead 5-0. No RBI there because that error was with 2 down. So runners at the corners here for Hondo will have a visit to the hill. And there's going to be challenging conditions, maybe not as bad as what we saw last Saturday when Paul Acosta was on the call. And Brush won in Kersey 24-15, which was a crazy game. This hopefully will be a lot more manageable and played more like baseball. So Hondo walked in his first plate appearance. So that's an unearned run allowed by Kachari on the miscue by the shortstop Nevades. Both teams with an error.
Bat for Brush, number 12, Alejandro Maltos Garcia.
Well, let's see if the trail runner takes off from first. Moriarty's got about a 2 to 3 step lead. The stretch. Kachari throws back to first and tag applied, but nothing doing. Mason Mitchell was the first baseman on Thursday. Today for Valley, it's Max Doolittle. The stretch, the pitch. Swung on and popped up into shallow center. That could be trouble. Nevada's going out the second baseman. Makes the catch. A nice play for Cameron Dudley.
Squeezes the pop-up for the third.
And that does it here for the Beet Diggers in the top of the second inning.
Beet Diggers bring 3 across.
But they scored 3 runs on 3 hits. There was 1 error and 2 left. As we head to the bottom of the second inning, it's Brush 5, Valley nothing on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Brush leading Valley 5-0 in the bottom of the second inning. And for the Vikings, still looking for their first hit against Brush this season, it'll be Max Doolittle, followed by Raiden Pelletier and Cooper Foster. Against right-hander Cesar Hinojos, the pitch. And that fastball rides in there for a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Brush has scored 15 runs to nothing for Valley in the 2 games. The offering. Swung on, that ball is lifted down the right side along the line. Yvonne giving chase, and that ball is fair. That's the first hit for Valley this season. Doolittle is to second. It's a leadoff double in the bottom of the second inning for Max Doolittle on a fly ball that hugged the line. And here is Raiden Pelletier.
Number 11, Raiden Pelletier.
Pelletier was 0 for 2 on Thursday in the 10-0 Brush victory. As he steps in righty against righty with a runner at second and nobody out in the bottom of the second, the pitch. Fastball rides inside, 1 ball and no strikes with Jackson Dudley. Actually, Cooper Foster's on deck and then Jackson Dudley. The lead at second for Doolittle's about 3 to 4 steps. Hinojos to the plate, and that is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Don't want to get too comfortable with his 5-0 lead in the second if you're Brush. Griffith lays down the sign. The offering. That's a strike on the inside corner. Took something off it. Want to send a shout out to my friend of how many years are we going on now, Rosa? Let's see. A good 40. The pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right. She's in warm Miami. We're here at 58 degrees. Let's see what the temp right now is in Miami. Rose is enjoying the temperature, I'm sure, even though the humidity is something even Miamians don't get used to. 80 degrees right now in Miami. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball up at the letters. It's a strikeout. A Pelletier. 1 out for Cooper Foster. Now Foster was 0 for 2 on Thursday. Looking back, the pitch. Swung on, that ball is grounded to short. Shelton charges, throws on the run for the out. And a third is Doolittle. 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. So they've got a runner 90 feet away from scoring their first run against Brush this season.
Number 5, Jackson Dudley.
And here is Jackson Dudley. And the pitch is swung on and missed. No balls and 1 strike. With 2 down, a man at third, the Beet Diggers lead 5-0 in the second. Hinojos to the plate, and that bounces in. Nice scoop there by Ty Griffith. The count levels at 1-1. Doolittle leads off of third. The kick and the pitch. Swag and a miss. Man, he tied him up with that bender, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Griffith lays down the sign. Hinojos delivers. Swung on and chopped foul along the third base side. And the count remains at 1-2. Brush scored 2 runs in the first and 3 in the top half of this frame. Hinojos delivers. Up and in. Ball 2, strike 2. To the right-handed hitting Jackson Dudley, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Doolittle doubled to begin the inning. The pitch just below the knees. Man, that barely missed. 3-2. Julian Lechuga waits to hit next. And now we have a balk. Yep, he started the motion towards the plate. Well, no, you can't have the play. You can't have both. That's not a walk. It's a balk. The hitter cannot take off.
There is a balk. It'll bring.
Yeah, Hinojos lifted his hands, and that's the right call. So back in the box, yeah, you can't have both at the same time. You either balk or you walk. You don't do both. So Dudley up there at 3-2. It's now 5-1 because Hinojos started his motion, then stopped, and that is the right call. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a fastball up and in. And that does it for Valley in the second inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and the bases were left empty. To the third we go. Rush 5, Valley 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the third inning. Rush 5, Valley 1.
Leading off for the Beat Diggers, number 9.
Sam Metlin, followed by Ivan Cardenas and Jace Krieger. This will be 7, 8, and 9 against Kachari. The pitch and the breaking ball's a beauty. Right there. Thigh high, it's 0-1. Metlin hit that fly ball that Foster made a nice catch on in right field. The pitch swung on. That has popped up on the right side. Foul territory, giving chase. And out of play as Max Doolittle runs out of room. No balls and 2 strikes. To Sam Metlin. Kachari to the plate. Swung on and fisted down the left field side, but foul. Yeah, got in on the hands. And Metlin just pulled him in. Stays at 0-2 to Metlin. Metlin, Cardenas, and Krieger. Again, we will not have next Saturday's game at Pueblo South. We already had a scheduled game on our sister station. The pitch, B106 breaking ball away. And that's a league game that Fort Morgan's playing, and that Pueblo South game was an added game about 2-3 weeks ago. But we'll have the rest of the games down the stretch. The pitch swung on and popped up into center field. A routine play for Dudley to his left, and he makes the one-handed grab. And Metlin is out number 1.
Fly ball squeezes it for the first out.
Even with the wind, that was routine.
That'll bring up number 6, Ivan Cardenas.
Here is Ivan. Ivan is wearing that hoodie underneath. He wants to make sure he's warm. Well, he did get a base hit his first time up. And the offering. Swung on, that is hit foul off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. The Bay Diggers have, 5 hits in the game, unofficially. Valley with 1, a double by Doolittle, who scored in the second. And Kachari to the plate. The breaking ball is outside, and the count levels at 1-1, with 1 out and the bases empty in the third. Gorgeous day, but wasn't for the wind, but that wind is now dying down a little bit. A lot. Swung on, that ball is driven down the left field side and foul. Nice swing there. I mean, it's really died down, but again, this will be temporary. Not just a bank in Colorado, they're Bank of Colorado, a proud supporter of local sports and academics. Longtime sponsor of Morgan County Athletics, Bank of Colorado. And the pitch to Ivan. Swinging a foul on the fastball up at the letters. To the screen, it remains at 1-2. Well, the anticipation is over. Fort Morgan's Trey McBride, drafted 55th overall pick by the Arizona Cardinals, round number 2. So everybody in Morgan County is basically now a Cardinals fan. The pitch swung on and popped foul and out of play again. Unofficially, that's 65 pitches for Caleb Kachari. It remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ivan just fighting off pitch after pitch. The offering swung on and driven into left center field. That will drop for a base hit. Ivan Cardenas is now 2 for 2. He's got a third of Brush's hits in the game.
The left center gap for a single. That'll bring up number 32.
Here is Jace Krieger. Had a nice sacrifice bunt Well, let's see if he does it again. This time there's one out. Might be swinging away here. Jace doing an excellent job of playing small ball in his first plate appearance. A stretch. The pitch. Breaking ball strike. Runner goes to second. The throw to second is going to be late. Adolph had trouble getting the ball out of his glove, that is. If not, that could have been a close play. Ivan is in there because of the fact that Adolph made a good throw, but the ball got stuck in his glove. If not, Ivan might have been toast out there. No balls and one strike. Krieger awaits the pitch. Down and away with a breaking ball. And the count evens at 1-1. 5-1 Brush, top of the third inning. Brush scored the first 5 runs, and Valley got a leadoff double from Doolittle in the second. He scored on a balk. The stretch by Kachari. And the pitch, runner going, swung on and grounded to second. And to his left on the second hop and throwing to first in time is Cameron Dudley. Krieger is out number 2, and Ivan to third.
Middle field, the grounder throw him out at first for the second out of the inning.
That'll bring up Ty Griffith.
That'll bring the Beat Diggers back to the top of the lineup with number 10, Ty Griffith.
Griffith with a double and a single. Don't want to give him something too fat here. And the pitch. And the breaking ball is a strike. Top of the zone on the inner half. It's 0-1. At third is Ivan. The Beat Diggers have scored in the first 2 innings, but not on the board yet in the third. The pitch. Swung on and grounded to Dudley at second to his right. He misplays the baseball. It's out in shallow right center field. Griffith reaches, Ivan scores. It's an unearned run allowed by Kachari. And the Beat Diggers lead 6-1.
Now up number 13, Kyle Wellen.
And again, just like Moriarty in the previous inning, no RBI. No RBI there for Griffith. Here's Kyle Wellen, who struck out and singled. An unearned run allowed for the second straight inning by Kachari with 2 down on a ground ball in the infield. And Valley's committed their second error. The pitch, breaking ball down and away to Wellen. 1 for 2 officially. Beat Diggers back at it. Next week, they'll have Strasburg at home on Tuesday. Kevin Fergus will have that one. I'll be on the road against Strasburg on Thursday. Runner going, pitches outside, and the throw is going to ricochet into shallow left center field. It's a stolen base. No further advance by Tanner Ludgate.
Stolen base.
1 ball and 1 strike. Ludgate off of second. The pitch. That's a beautiful pitch, a strike right there. And the count is at, should be 2-1. One with a breaking ball there. Runner off of second with 2 down in the third. The pitch. Swag and a miss on the off speed. Now Adolph thought it was 3 strikes. That's only 2-2 now. 2-2. With 2 outs, a man at second and 1 across in the third. Brush leads 6-1 in Gilchrist over the Valley Vikings. The pitch, runner goes to third, swung on and fouled. Big jump there for Ludgate. Well, Ludgate's getting the biggest workout even though he's not starting in the game. He's been on the base pass 3 times because of Griffith reaching on a double, a single, and an error. The Beat Diggers have stranded 4 runners over the first 2 innings, but 6 have been plated. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Throw back to second, and back in diving is Ludgate. And digging back in is Kyle Wellen with Shelton waiting to hit next. Kachari gets a sign. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded to third, and the ball right underneath the glove of the third baseman, Lechuga. That'll be another error.
With the error.
And the third is Ludgate.
Wellen is
That's the second of the inning. And now here's Shelton.
Number 18, Braxton Shelton.
Well, Kachari is making the pitches, and now we're going to have a pitching change that looks like Mason Mitchell will be coming in for Valley in the top of the third, but that's not
pitching change for the Vikings.
Certainly not
Mason
Kachari's
Mitchell
fault. I mean, he threw some quality pitches, but 2 misplays in the infield.
coming into the ball game.
And we will take a brief break. We're in the top of the third inning. The Beat Diggers lead the Valley Vikings 6-1 with 2 on and 2 out right here on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Braxton Shelton will be the hitter against Mason Mitchell. The Beat Diggers lead 6-1 in the third inning, and Valley's defense has really hurt them in this inning with a couple of errors, 3 in the game, on routine grounders to second and third. It's a big reason that Valley has a 3-13 record. They're just in a transitional year and hoping to get back on track. 2-8 in the Patriot League. The Beat Diggers are cemented in fourth place in the league. It's going to be hard to catch any of the top 3 because they were 0-6 against the top 3. Shelton walked and hit by a pitch. The stretch by the left-hander Mitchell. Runner goes. Fastball outside. Throw to second will be cut off. Wellen with a steal. Let's see if Braxton can hit a line drive. A fly ball here doesn't do much because, 1, there's 2 down, and 2, the ball's not carrying at all. And the offering. Swung on, lined, and off the glove of the first baseman into right field. Doolittle nearly had it. 1 run is in. Here's Wellen around third. He scores on the single.
Line drive will come off.
It's a base hit. A 2-run single for Braxton Shelton. The Beat Diggers now lead 8-1. Nearly a sparkling play, but a 2-run single for Shelton.
22, Cesar Hinojos.
Here's Hinojos, who grounded out and struck out 0 for 2. Nice job of going the other way for the base hit. The pitch, and that's up and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Here to Hinojos. Shelton with about a 2-step lead at first, the offering. And that one bounces away along the first base side. Adolph can't find it. Shelton's going to round second. Shelton's going to head for third. It'll be a 2-base wild pitch. 90 feet away from extending the lead. Well, Adolph never ripped off the mask, and he couldn't find it.
Moves all the way up to third.
So 2 balls and no strikes. The Beat Diggers looking to make this a quick game, up 8-1. And not what happened when they were building the lead in Kersey, and all of a sudden the Broncos got back into the game. The stretch. Pitch to Cesar. Swung on. That ball is driven in the air into right field. That's going to be a long run way back, and that is going to be off the bottom of the fence. Cesar around second. Hinojos headed for third, and the throw is not going to be made. It's an RBI triple for Hinojos, and now he's headed for the plate. The throw, and he's in there. It's going to be a triple, and then the ball was held out there by Dudley at second. Cesar took off, so that is a triple, and then he takes off for the plate, and the Beat Diggers now lead 10-1. Again, that has scored a triple, and because he held up, that's not a straight-up home run.
Now up, number 20, Evan Moriarty.
But give him the RBI triple. And here's K-Dog. Moriarty has reached twice. The pitch swung on and grounded to first. And a routine play for Doolittle. Steps in the bag.
Fields the ground ball
and K-Dog is retired, and so are the Beat Diggers. Brush, however, scores 5 runs on 3 hits, 2 errors,
10-1.
and the base is left empty. 2.5 complete. It's Brush 10, Valley 1 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran. Let's head to the bottom of the third inning. The Beat Diggers lead the Valley Vikings in Gilchrist 10-1. The Beat Diggers have scored a ton of unearned runs in this game. Kachari went, let's see, 2 2/3, allowed 8 runs, 4 earned.
Julian Lechuga.
Mason Mitchell, 2 runs, but those unearned. because of the 2-out error that extended the inning. The pitch, and that rides inside to Lechuga. 9-1-2 for Valley in the bottom of the third. From the right side, and the pitch swung on and grounded to second. Backing up is Moriarty, sets, throws, and there's one down.
Second baseman will field the grounder and throw him out at first for the first out of the inning.
Moriarty makes the play.
That'll bring the Vikings back to the top of the lineup with number 8, Andrew Rankin.
And here's the freshman, Andrew Rankin, struck out to begin the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch. That is a strike. The wind has died down a ton. Now it's actually getting warm in here. And the offering. Swung on and lifted foul. Now to play off to the right. Count is at no balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, it's actually gotten pleasant here. Very pleasant. Almost sweating material. Swung on and lined to right field for a base hit on the 0-2 pitch. The throw was going to be made to first, but Yvonne dropped the baseball.
With a single.
Second base hit for Valley. And here's Carson Adolph.
Carson Adolph.
Adolph grounded to third his first time up. The Bee Diggers scored 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, and 5 in the third. With 1 out and 1 on. Stretched by Noholes. Bee Diggers a double play depth, and that pitch rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes. The Bee Diggers picked up a huge win on. That was a transition game. That Tuesday game against Rez was big. The offering. Swung on and grounded right side. Only a play, maybe to first. Wellen is going to throw to first, and in time. I'm not sure why he looked to second initially, but nice job of Hinojos covering. That'll go 3-1.
This is out at first.
Yeah, once you misplay it, you don't look at second. You go straight to first, and Hinojos did a nice job of covering the bag. And there's 2 down here for Kachari, who walked in his first plate appearance. And I'm not sure if there's a discussion there. Was Hinojos blocking the path of the hitter? I don't know. That has to be the discussion right now, but I'm not sure. The umpires are going to converge, but the out call was made. Yeah, I mean, the bag can belong to both the hitter and the pitcher. One covering and the other one running right out of the box. So I don't think you can reverse that call. I think it's just going to be a straight up 3-1 out, and there's 2 down. And here is Kachari. Yep, they're going to call interference.
It's going to be safe at first on catcher's interference.
Well, it is called interference on. It'll be first and second. Apparently, it was
3
interference.
runners to first and second.
The interference was called against Ty Griffith.
We're going to get a courtesy runner for the catcher, number 12.
So he was running down the line.
Anthony Solis.
Also known as catcher obstruction.
Now up number 2, Caleb Kashari.
Anthony Solis will run it first. Here's Caleb Kachari, so 2 on and 1 out. The pitch, that's on the outside corner for a strike. Well, Valley trying to make things a little bit more competitive in the bottom of the third, trailing Brush 10-1. Runners take their leads, and the offering. Tails away. Sessa throwing just 40 pitches so far. 1 ball and 1 strike. At second is Rankin. He had a base hit his second time up. And that is up and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. 12:04 Mountain Time. This is 1010 KSIR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Snyder, and KSIR.com, also on the TuneIn app. Swing and a miss, tailing away. That might have been ball 3. Count goes to 2-2. Against Kachari. The stretch by Noholes. The pitch. Tails away. 3-2. On deck is the number 4 hitter, the cleanup hitter, Cameron Dudley. Sessad looks back. The offering. Swung on and lifted down the left field line. That is major trouble if it's fair, and it is foul. No, that's foul. Yeah, that drives me crazy.
Drop one in right
it
on
is
the
foul.
line
No, it is way foul.
Single.
It is foul. Yeah, that's blocked
no,
off.
They call it foul.
And it was clearly foul, too. That thing was close, but not that close. But it was, you try to sell it as a coach at third, and that's a smart play. But it was clearly outside the line. So it remains at 3-2 to Cacciari. The stretch and the offering. Swung on, that's driven foul down the left side. And that one not even close. It remains at 3-2 with 1 out, 2 on, 10-1 Brush in the bottom of the third inning. From Valley High School here in Gilchrist. Well, let's see. Waiting, I guess, a baseball here. All right. Back into play. That's what happens. Lots of foul balls hit. That changes everything. Hinojos to the plate. Swung on and grounded left side. Shelton's got a backhand. It flips to second, and it's off the glove of Moriarty into right field. That's going to score a run. And now to third will be Solis.
Run will come in for the Vikings.
And it's now 10-2.
First, Anthony is safe at third.
And the air is going to be scored against Moriarty. It looked like the throw was right there.
Number 6, Cameron Dudley.
These are the plays the Bee Diggers have to make during the regular season. If not, they're not going to happen in the playoffs. Dudley struck out looking. That was an easy force, and it looked like the throw was there, and Moriarty tried to catch it too early, swung on and driven in the air. In the infield, the second baseman Moriarty coming in and is going to make the two-handed grab, 2 down.
Second baseman settles under the pop fly for the second out.
Dudley is now 0 for 2.
That'll bring up number 3, Max Doolittle.
Doolittle doubled to right and scored in the second. So first and third and 2 down. Sessad stretches and the pitch, and that is a little bit low. Wow. 1 ball and no strikes. He's wondering, he must have been low or off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Valley's got to run across in the bottom of the third and Brush up by 8. The offering, that bounces in, blocked by Griffith. 2-0. Here comes pitch number 50. Two balls and no strikes. The pitch swung on and fouled to the screen. 2-1 to Max Doolittle. Advanced Agri Solutions, another outstanding sponsor of Brush Bee Digger Athletics. And that pitch bounces in, and no throw on the steal to second. Perfect pitch for Cacciari to take off on. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Second.
Wind and offering. And that is a strike at the knees. 3-2 on a fastball. Sessad's racked up a few strikeouts in this game. The pitch up and in, he walked him.
Max draws the walk. That will
And the
load
bases are loaded.
Bases for number 11, Raiden Pelletier.
Hinojos with 4 strikeouts and 2 walks in the game. And here's Raiden Pelletier. The pitch. That one rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Pelletier's had 3 plate appearances against Brush and 2 games, has struck out every time. The pitch swung on and lined on 1 hop towards Moriarty at second. He'll flip it to first for the out. And
Second
Valley
baseman
is
will
limited
field
to
the
1
one-hopper
run
to throw him out at
in the
first
bottom of
for
the third
third
inning.
out of the inning. Vikings bring 1 across.
Tough inning for Brush
They're
defensively.
still trailing 10-2 going
A run
into
on a
the
hit.
fourth.
Couple of miscues and 3 left. As we head to the 4th inning with the score. The Brush Bee Diggers 10 and the Valley Vikings 2 on 1010 KSIR, KSIR.com, and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Here's Hondo to begin the 4th inning. The Bee Diggers lead the Valley Vikings in Gilchrist 10-2. The pitch And that sails outside from the left-hander Mason Mitchell. Hondo has walked and popped out. He is 0 for 1. The Bee Diggers have scored in every inning, and that bounces away to the screen. It's Hondo, Sam Metlin, and Ivan, who's perfect so far in this top of the 4th inning. Hinojos just got out of a bases-loaded jam, but the Bee Diggers did commit 2 errors in the inning. The catcher's interference has also scored an error, and then we had the error by Moriarty on the throw from Shelton. The pitch, and that bounces in. 3 balls and no strikes. The schedule for Brush has Strasburg next week, Tuesday and Thursday, Pueblo South on the road on Saturday, and then Yuma and Bennett to close it out. That is a strike at the knees. 3-1 to Hondo. The leadoff man has been on base every inning for Brush. And Mitchell to the plate. Swung on line. Base hit into right center field, and the Bee Diggers pick up their 9th hit of the game. Hondo's on base for the 2nd time. Sam Metlin
bring up number 9, Sam Metlin.
Has popped to right and flown out to center. And let's see, Coach Odo, I think, wants to initiate a change here. I don't know if it's for a base runner. We might have a courtesy runner. Yeah, we will have a courtesy runner. That is Austin Sisk. Metzger out there at first base.
Courtesy runner coming in, number 8, Austin Metzger.
So Austin is out at first base for Hondo, giving him a little breather. So the wind has really died down a lot. It was at about 30 miles an hour to begin the game. Swung on and lined to deep left center field, way back, and the ball is going to be off the glove of the left fielder, Pelletier. Around third, and staying right there at third is going to be Sisk. Into second is Metlin. We'll score that a double.
Fly ball. He's going to be safe at second.
We'll score that a double for Metlin. Again, I'm not the official scorer. And second and third here for Ivan. That was a tough play out there and got a glove on it, but he was on the run. He was on a dead run there. Ivan at 2 for 2. And the pitch swung on and drifted foul off to the right. No balls and 1 strike. Brush scored 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third. We're in the 4th. It's 10-2. At the belt is Mitchell. And the offering. And that rides inside. Count levels at 1-1. Big opportunity for Brush to go up by double digits here and make this a 5-inning game just like we had 2 days ago. And the offering, way outside of the changeup. 2 balls and 1 strike. Looked like a circle change thrown by Mitchell. At third is Austin Sisk Metzger. At second is Sam Metlin. To the plate. Swung on and lifted foul. Not a play off to the right. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here for Ivan Cardenas. He's lifted that average, which was .333 going in. And the pitch, way outside. Ball 3, strike 2. Yeah, you win in 5. We're not going to have the game we had. In fact, the game was over at this time on Thursday, 1 hour and 10 minutes. We're at 1 hour and 10 minutes right now. In fact, 1 hour and 11. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Jace Krieger waits to hit next. The pitch, that's way outside. It's a walk, and the bases are loaded.
Cardenas draws the walk
for a Krieger.
Number 32, Jace Krieger with the bases loaded.
Krieger with a sac bunt, then grounded to second. And here is his shot to do major damage for Brush. Krieger hitting .393. And what's impressive about him is that he's driven in 15 runs. And that's impressive because he only has 35 plate appearances. The others have in the excess of 50 or 60. That is a strike. Change up at the letters. No balls and 1 strike. Got to sit back here against the off-speed pitcher, Mason Mitchell. Nobody out in the top of the 4th inning. Krieger awaits the pitch. And here it is. And that one bounces in and bounces away, but not far enough for anybody to advance. Yeah, when you're throwing off speed, it's going to be tough to get in on a wild pitch. You got to put the ball in play. Yvonne at first has been on base all 3 times. 1 ball and 1 strike. Adolph lays down the sign. And the pitch. Swung on and lifted on the right side. That won't do much. The second baseman, Dudley, makes the catch. And now Sisk Metzger back to third, and he's going to be safe. But I don't know what he was doing there.
Dudley,
I mean, he was almost doubled up, and I'm not sure why he was off the bag that far. First of all, that's an infield fly. So there's 1 down, and the Bee Diggers caught another break there. That could have been an easy double play.
We're going to get a pinch runner, number 21, Sam Cecil's coming in for Ivan Cardenas.
Sam Cecil will be the courtesy runner at first for Brush.
Now up, number 10, Ty Griffith.
And Griffith will now step in, aboard on a single, a double, and an error. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is driven into the air into deep left field. Pelletier is going back along the line, reaches out, and he made the catch. Runner tag from third. The other runner's tag. It's a sac fly for Griffith. And the Bee Diggers now lead 11-2. Griffith gave that a ride.
For the Bee Diggers.
And a nice play by Pelletier. Tremendous defensive play out there along the left field line. And 2 down here for Kyle Wellen. Well, they're going to appeal, but I don't think they're going to win that appeal that somebody didn't tag up appropriately.
Now up number
So
13,
Metlin's at third
Kyle
and Sam
Wellen.
Cecil at second. Kyle Wellen, a strikeout, a single, and a board on an error. The stretch by the left-hander and the pitch. Swung on that has popped up. Bee Diggers didn't wait on that at all. The last 2 hitters, and that ball is out there and it's going to be caught. Dropped by the second baseman, Dudley. 2 runs are going to score. Oh, man, on a routine pop-up on the right side. No RBIs, more unearned runs, and Brush now leads 13-2. Oh, man, Dudley just dropped that ball. He reached out, tried to make a one-handed grab, and didn't have to move far.
Number 18, Braxton Shelton.
Wow, that's a tough one there for Dudley. He knows he should have made that catch, and the hitter, Wellen, kept going, ended up at second. Shelton has been on base 3 times, a walk, a hit by pitch, and a 2-run single. And the offering. Swung on and grounded left side. It's going to be a tough play in the hole. Backhanded throw to first off balance, and that's going to be late. It's an infield hit. Wellen breaks for the plate. He slides. He's in there. Wellen scores, and the Bee Diggers now lead 14-2. They played at 4 runs in the inning. And Braxton Shelton is now 2 for 2. Has been on base all 4 times. Here is Cesar. Hinojos has grounded out, struck out, and tripled. And then he scored on that same play when there was hesitation, and then he took off for the plate. The pitch, and that's low. 1 ball and no strikes to Cesar Hinojos. This is now Brush's second biggest inning. They had 5 in the third, the offering. And that bounces in. Nice block by Adolph. The last 3 runs scored unearned because of the 2-out error by Valley. 2-0 to Hinojos. The Bee Diggers in firm control of this game. And the offering. That's a strike with a changeup on the outer edge. 2-1. Still got to wait on those pitches. Too many Bee Diggers popping the ball up. That's what we saw against Valley on Thursday. Even though they scored all those runs. But Valley's defense letting them down today as well. And that's up in a strike. Top of the zone. The very top of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The stretch by Mason Mitchell. And he steps off. Yeah, we got here. The wind was fierce, and it's really calmed down. Never sure when the wind is going to stop blowing, but it's pretty tame now. The offering, way outside. Runner goes to second. The throw is up the shortstop side and skips into center field, but Shelton stays right there. Nice backup there in center field by Jackson Dudley. Three balls and two strikes. Mitchell looks in. The stretch. Hinojos awaits the pitch. Swung on and popped foul, and out of play. Count stays at 3-2. To Cesar Hinojos. Valley has committed 4 errors in the game. The Bee Diggers do have 3, so they're not playing flawless defensively. Runner goes to third, way outside. No throw, and Shelton 90 feet away. That'll bring up Caden Moriarty, who singled, reached on an error, and grounded out.
Caden Moriarty.
And the Bee Diggers in this game have stolen 8 bases. So K-Dog at 1 for 3. Again, a single, which drove in a run, aboard on an error, then grounded to first. And Tom Odo at some point is going to clear the bench here with a 12-run lead in the 4th inning. The stretch by Mitchell and the pitch. That's a strike. Took something off it on the outer half. It's 0-1. Moriarty well off that plate. He's looking to left field. Definitely looking the other way. Runner goes. That's a strike on the outside corner. No throw to second. No balls and 2 strikes. K-Dog looking to protect. The Bee Diggers have 4 across in the 4th inning. And the offering. And that's upstairs. And outside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. And now we'll have another courtesy runner. Looks like Nate Tyne will be running at second.
Nate Tyne
for the Bee Diggers.
Courtesy runner for the pitcher.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Moriarty awaits the pitch. Swung on and grounded towards right field. That's a base hit. Shelton scores. Around third is Tyne. The throw is going to be, nope, he stayed right there. Tyne rounded third and held up as the throw came in. It's an RBI single for Moriarty. And Brush now leads 15-2.
That'll increase the Brush lead to 15-2. Now up, number 12.
And here's Hondo,
Maltos Garcia,
who has walked, popped to second, and then singled. 1 for 3 in the game. Brush has now matched what they did in the 3rd inning when they scored 5 runs. And Mitchell throws to first. And that ball gets away into foul territory. And Tyne is going to score. Moriarty to second on the throwing error. Brush leads 16-2. Valley's committed their 5th miscue of the game. Well, the Bee Diggers can go up by 15. They could close it out in the 4th. If not, you got to go to the 5th inning. Valley now with 5 errors and 2 runs and 2 hits on the offensive side of the ledger. K-Dog at second. And the pitch. Swung on. That ball is driven in the air to right center field. A long run for Dudley in the gap. Still going, reaches out, and the ball is off his glove. Hondo's going to be into second with a double. And the Bee Diggers now lead 17-2. As scoring is Nate Tyne. That was just off his glove on the dead run.
Now up, number 9.
The Bee Diggers pick up their 13th hit. And here's Sam Metlin, who's popped out twice and doubled. And Hondo, I guess, is going to stay there at second. Thought he was looking for a courtesy runner initially, but he'll be there at second as the Beet Diggers have plated 7 runs in the inning. Yeah, I think I mentioned they had 5 when they had 6. The offering swung on and tapped foul. Now the Beet Diggers can close it out in the bottom of the 4th. But if it stays here, then Brush cannot allow a run. If not, it would be extended to a 5th inning. No balls and 1 strike to Sam Metlin. And the offering swung on. That is popped up in the infield. Let's see who's going to call for it. The first baseman, and the ball's going to drop in the infield. And here comes Hondo to score as the wind played tricks with that baseball.
As the wind's messing
And
with the ball, Max can't bring it in.
That's going to be an 18-2 game. That'll be a straight-up hit. I mean, Max Doolittle had to fight that wind fiercely, and it's a gift base hit there for Metlin.
Now up to bat, Ivan Cardenas.
Here is Ivan, who singled twice and walked. Yeah, that's a wind-aided pop-up. And that wind swirling all over the place, even though it's died down from the opening pitch. But still is a factor of the offering. Swung on and fouled off to the right. So Brush has 8 across in the inning. Up by 16. 0-1 to Ivan. With Metlin at first. The stretch. And the offering. And that's up and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, I don't think Metlin will be taking off with a 16-run lead. He'll just wait for the ball to be put in play. The offering swung on. That's popped up. That's going to be another adventure along the first base side. Foul territory. Doolittle could not make the play. It is now just 1-2. So Ivan has another shot in the batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Beet Diggers with a solid 18-2 lead. Rounds 4 through 7 of the NFL draft are ongoing right now. The pitch swung on. That is hit in the air down the right side. Doolittle giving chase out of play. A long half inning, especially for Valley just on that field. I'm telling you, the wind is it's moderate now. Very moderate. Not light, but moderate. The pitch swung on and driven to center field. Dudley's going back, still going back towards the fence, and that ball is going to bounce up against the very bottom of the fence. And rounding third, headed to the plate is Metlin, and now to third is Ivan with a triple. And now the ball gets away, but Ivan will stay at third. It's an RBI triple. Ivan has been on base every single time. He is now 3 for 3, and Brush now leads 19-2.
Number 32, Jace Krieger.
And he got a lot of that baseball, and Brush has now plated 9 runs in the inning. And let's see if we have a pitching change. A lot of unearned runs because of the 2-out error, which seemed that was like 15 minutes ago. And I think we might have one of the Dudleys come in to pitch. I'm not sure.
Looks like Jackson Dudley's going to come in to pitch.
Well, that'll give us a shot and a chance to take a break. The Beet Diggers have the lead, 19-2 in the top of the 4th inning on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Will go out to the outfield, and Mason will go to first.
Jackson Dudley is the third pitcher for Valley. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Brush has plated 9 in the inning. And they've taken advantage of Valley errors. The line score that I have very unofficial. I won't keep the official book.
Number 32, Jace Krieger.
Krieger with a sac bunt, a ground out, and a pop out. Hit everything on the right side. With a runner at third off the triple from Ivan. The pitch from the right-hander is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Here from Jackson Dudley. The stretch. And Dudley to the plate. And that one bounces away up the first base side, but Ivan will stay put at third. He's not going anywhere unless he's batted in. He's driven in by a hitter. 2 balls and no strikes. Here to Jace Krieger. The Beetdiggers have sent now the 13th man to the plate. That's a strike on the outside corner. 9 have scored, 2 have been out, and 1 is on third base, and the hitter makes number 13. So Krieger trying to avoid making 2 outs in the inning. And the offering. And that's a strike with a fastball on the outer edge. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Jace Krieger. And Jackson Dudley delivers. Swung on and grounded up the middle. Second baseman Dudley to his right off a knee. Sets, throws to first, and that's going to be late. It's a base hit. Jace Krieger beats it out. Ivan scores. Brush leads 20-2.
For a single, that'll bring a run in for the Beetdiggers.
That's where speed helps.
20-2. That'll bring Brush back to the top of the lineup with number 10, Ty Griffith.
Ty Griffith will now hit a double, a single, a board on an error, then a sac fly earlier in this inning. 14th hitter of the inning for Brush. And the offering is a strike. On the outside edge, it's 0-1. Now here you got to go up hitting. The strike zone is going to be a more liberal one. You got to go up hitting with a 20-2 game. The pitch, that is upstairs. 1-1. Yeah, anywhere close now is going to go to the pitcher, which it should. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the offering. That's a strike right there, letter high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 to Ty Griffith. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The Beetdiggers were up 10-2 to begin the inning, now up 20-2. And the pitch swung on and fisted in the air into shallow left field. That could be trouble. A dive. And is the catch made? That's a tremendous play out at short. Oh, what a play out there by Kachari. Man, that's the defensive play of the game in a game that has lacked defense. And the Beetdiggers are finally done in the frame. But what an inning it was for Brush. Their biggest of the season. 10 runs on 8 hits, 2 errors, and 1 left. It's Brush 20, Valley 2 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Jace Krieger is the new pitcher for Brush. Izzy Hernandez to third. Quentin Molbach is now at second for Brush. If there's outfield changes, those are the toughest ones to decipher. Well, I can see that Nate Tyne is going out there. Nate Tyne will be in left. Tanner Ludgate, I can see him in center. Yeah, I'm not sure who's in right field. Was their new first baseman, too. Kyle Wellen was not there, yeah. Joshua Lancaster's at first, and he started the game this year, played very well.
We're going to get a pitching change for the
But Ty Griffith is still behind the plate.
Krieger's going to come in.
And Braxton Shelton remains at short.
For the Vikings, number 17, Cooper Foster.
Valley needs to score 4 runs to extend the game. So here we go with Jace Krieger. The pitch swung on and lined, and that skips right by Shelton into left center. Scored a base hit on a ball hit extremely hard. Braxton just went for it because that thing was hit very sharply.
Number 5, Jackson Dudley.
Jackson Dudley struck out his first time. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Outstanding pitch thrown by Krieger. The right-hander for Brush. Looks in for the sign. Krieger with an 8.08 ERA. And that pitch is on the outer edge for a strike at the knees to Dudley, the number 8 hitter in the lineup for Valley. For the Vikings, they have got 3 hits in the game. The B-Diggers with 16, all unofficial. Too many close plays sometimes to determine whether something's a hit or an error. The offering. And that is a called strike 3. Fastball on the outside corner at the knees. And Dudley goes down on 3 pitches. Jace Krieger picks up his first strikeout.
Julian Lechuga.
Hinojo struck out 4 in the game. There's Julian Lechuga, who grounded to second. His first time up. And that rides us inside for a strike right at the edge. No balls and 1 strike. The B-Diggers will pick up their 4th consecutive win. We'll update the league standings momentarily. That's a strike right there at the knees. Down the middle, it's 0-2, and Krieger just attacking the zone right now. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, 1 on. 20-2 Brush, bottom of the 4th. Krieger to the plate. Swung on and fouled off to the right. Count remains at 0-2. Premier Farm Credit understands production ag. They've been serving our rural communities for over 100 years. Sterling, Fort Morgan, Yuma, and Holyoke. That is Premier Farm Credit. Swing and a foul on a pitch up in the zone. And, of course, Greg Mona, State Farm Insurance, 842-4555. He does everything to make the insurance world easy for you. Longtime sponsor. Thank you for the patronage. Greg Mona, State Farm Insurance. Swung on and grounded sharply up the middle. Shelton backs up. He's going to step on the bag for 1. He'll throw to first, and that's going to be late. That'll be late.
Beat the throw
It'll
out
be a
at
fielder's
first.
choice.
They get the lead runner at second for the second out of the inning.
And there's 2 down for Andrew Rankin.
That'll bring the Vikings back to the top of the lineup with number 8, Andrew Rankin.
Rankin has struck out and singled. 1 for 2. The B-Diggers are 1 out away. And the pitch, that bounces in. A ball and no strikes. Here to Andrew Rankin. Short lead at first for Lechuga, and the pitch. And that's inside at 2-0. Again, the B-Diggers and Strasburg Indians will play on Tuesday in Brush, 4 o'clock with Kevin Fergus. Right here on 1010. Swing and a miss and a fastball away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now we'll run through the scoring, some of the scoring, because it is extensive. We know that Ivan Cardenas has 3 of the 16 hits for Brush. 2 balls, 1 strike. Krieger to the plate. Swung on and fisted to the screen. On a foul ball, it's 2-2. Brush has scored 38 runs in the last 3 games. Beat Rez 8-0. But this will be a 4-game winning streak for Brush. They started it off with that 20 for, actually, you look back at Platte Valley, breaking ball down and away. So let's extend that more. How about 62 runs in the last 4 games? The B-Diggers averaging, let's see, doing the simple math, that's about 16 runs a game. The pitch, swung on and fouled off to the right. Remains, is that what I got, 3-2? Yep, 3-2 to Andrew Rankin. 1 on and 2 down. 20-2 Brush. The pitch, swung on and fisted foul, not a play. Rankin's had some good at-bats. Had a good at-bat against Hondo. And then another good one earlier. Waiting for a couple of baseballs to go back into the field of play. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Once again to Andrew Rankin, a freshman. The pitch, and that bounces in into the screen. It's a walk.
Andrew draws the walk.
Should bring up Carson Adolph.
Bring runners to first and second for number 1, Carson Adolph.
Adolph at 0 for 1, grounded out to the third baseman, then reached on a catcher interference. Krieger wants to lower that ERA. Swung on and fisted in the air on the right side. Who's going to make the play? Second baseman Molback is out, and the ball's going to drop in for a base hit. The throw to the plate is going to be late. Lechuga scores. It's 20-3. It scored a base hit, although the B-Diggers weren't overly aggressive on that play.
That'll bring up number 2, Caleb.
There's Caleb Kachari. Still need 3 more runs to stretch this to a 5th inning. As there are 2 down in the bottom of the 4th. If you're up by 15 or more, then it's a 4-inning game. The pitch, that's a strike. The ball rides in the outside corner. It's 0-1. Valley has scored in the last 3 innings, a single run in the last 3. The pitch, swung on and fouled. 0-2. Krieger has thrown just 4 balls in the inning and 16 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on, 1 across. And the pitch, swung on and fisted to the screen. Going to have to make a play defensively because these guys are coming to swing. They're not going to take a strike. Not going to take a strike, especially down in the game like they are. Rankin at third, Adolph at first. Krieger to the plate. Swung on and grounded left side. That's a base hit into left field. Scoring is Rankin. RBI single for Kachari. It is 20-4.
20-4. Now up.
Runners at first and second.
6, Cameron Dudley.
Here's Dudley, who struck out and popped out to second. Still have to score 2 more runs. Just get the out here. That's all you need. Get the out. This inning has been extended. B-Diggers couldn't make a play on a base hit into shallow right field. The offering bounces in. Griffith with a nice block. 1 ball and no strikes. That ball was not hit hard, but in the perfect spot by Kachari. And Valley has 5 hits in the game. The pitch, swing and a miss on a fastball tailing in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kachari would have to score from first to extend the game. Swung on, grounded to Izzy at third. He picks it up, and he'll step on the bag for the force. And the Brush B-Diggers have won the game by a score of 20-4. Let's get to the B-Digger postgame show, brought to you by Stubbs Gas and Oil. Fill up your cooler, gas up your car at Stubbs Gas and Oil for the B-Diggers. 20 runs on 16 hits, 3 errors, and 5 left on base. 4 runs, 5 hits, 5 errors, and 6 left on base for Valley. The winning pitcher was Cesar Hinojos. The loss went to the right-hander, Caleb Kachari. Time of the game, 1 hour and 42 minutes. The B-Diggers scored 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 5 in the third, and 10 in the fourth. Tanner Ludgate also, he's actually scored the first on a wild pitch. Moriarty with an RBI single made it 2-0. Then Ludgate scored on another wild pitch in the second after Wellen had an RBI single. And then Moriarty reached on an air to make it 5-0. Valley got on the board, and then Brush unloaded with a bunch of runs. Ty Griffith was able to reach on an air as Valley gave up a bunch of unearned runs, and the B-Diggers would take advantage. Braxton Shelton had a 2-run single, a run-scoring triple for Cesar Hinojos, who later scored. It was 10-1, and then 10-2 became 20-2. As Ty Griffith had a sac fly, Wellen reached on an air, and that was with 2 down. So the B-Diggers scored a bunch of runs with 2 outs there in the 4th inning. As Braxton Shelton had another run-scoring single, had 3 RBIs in the game. And then K-Dog with an RBI single. Nate Tyne scored on an air, and they just kept going. Hondo with an RBI double. Yvonne with an RBI triple. The Beet Diggers improved to 11-7 as we update the Patriot League standings. Brush now 8-6 in league play, and Valley drops to 2-9 and 3-14 in league action. Beet Diggers are back in action coming up on Tuesday at home against the Strasburg Indians beginning at 4 o'clock right here on 1010 KSIR. The final score once again from Gilchrist. Brush in 4 innings defeats Valley 20-4 on 1010 KSIR and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.